Good evening, folks, and welcome to Garbage Theater. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-hosts, Blake and John.
Yellow.
Go!
Rebooted and ready to go. This is the new and improved Garbage Theater, we hope. So to let...
I guess maybe.
Yeah. So to let any new listeners in on it, old listeners you've heard on our last episode, we made some changes. We're shaking things up a little bit. I guess the biggest change that we've done is we're axing the contest. Wah wah. Good riddance. But don't worry, we're going to find whole new ways to yell at each other, I'm sure. We're changing up the way we pick our movies. It's a little bit more of a discussion now than a random thing because, let's face it, every now and then we get some that there is just nothing to say about these movies because they're barely movies, and we want to avoid that a little bit. We're going to have less movies that are crimes against humanity.
Which, you know, I'm upset about that one.
Because I think there was only one person that was enjoying picking those.
Exactly.
And he's already made himself known.
I mean, I occasionally enjoyed a crime against humanity, but, you know.
Well, I think...
Come on, you know me.
I think we can find
shit. I'm
some
into
more...
that shit.
I think we can find some more watchable crimes against humanity and be perfectly fine. I mean, we still got cats on the old agenda.
That's true.
So, yeah. So basically, we're just clean slate starting off. And what we're starting off with is an old-time favorite of ours. A movie that I know at least Blake and I have watched more times than it has any right to be watched.
Yeah.
And that would be Street Fighter, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. So without further ado, let's get this shit show on the road.
So this was way worse than I remembered it.
It's not... Okay, point blank question. Which one's better, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
I don't remember. It's been too long since I saw Mortal Kombat. Now I'm going to watch that fucking thing now. But I gotta say, I enjoyed this a great deal.
I'm more leaning towards Street Fighter.
That's because your dude crush is in it.
Well, I'm sorry. My dude crush turned down the role of Johnny Cage to do this.
Well, that was a dumb move.
I don't know about all that. It's kind of a lateral movement, if you ask me.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't have the attachment that you guys have, or the number of watches on this that you guys have. But I don't know. I mean, for what it was trying to do, it was a very entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, like, just to rewind to like our younger days, like Street Fighter was life.
Yes.
But even when we saw this when we were young, even we were like, man, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Well, it's absolutely not what you want to see.
No.
Like, if you're a Street Fighter fan, this is not for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is weird. I mean, I remember being really disappointed as a kid, too. I wanted to see, like, Ken and Ryu throwing Hadoukens at motherfuckers.
Yeah. But, maybe a Hadouken.
Yeah. Well, there is a Hadouken.
Or a dragon punch that leaves the ground. I don't know.
Before we launch too deep into it, let me give a brief rundown of the movie. Rated PG-13. It was released December 23rd, 1994. Its budget was $35 million. Its opening weekend, it made $6.9 and a worldwide grossed $99 million. It's not great received by critics. Audience slightly better, but not much. Directed by Stephen E. D'Souza. Notable credits: he was the writer of 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours, Commando. He did the screenplay for Running Man, Die Hard 2, Judge Dredd.
I didn't know all that.
Yes.
So he's capable.
Yes, he's capable. Writer, not director. He was also the producer on the animated Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which I found strange.
Okay.
That was a show. Remember that?
Yeah.
No.
So, as production, let me just launch into the production notes really quick. So, production was a mess, obviously. JCVD was full on in his $10,000 a week cocaine binge. He's sleeping with Kylie Minogue on the side. He's distracted. They hire a wrangler to keep him focused. The wrangler has just as bad a coke problem as Van Damme.
That rules.
They hired a wrangler, and he has never been seen again.
So he was right alongside him the whole time. So nice. Raul Julia.
To be quite honest, though, like if I'm some young punk kid in my 20s, and they tell me, "Look, you're in charge of Jean-Claude Van Damme," and then I go hang out with Jean-Claude Van Damme in the early 90s, and he's giving me coke, oh, I'm partaking.
I'm partying.
How do you not?
Yeah, exactly.
It's JCVD in his prime.
Exactly. Like, why not?
So there's that, they're dealing with. Raul Julia is just coming off of stomach surgery for his stomach cancer. So he's recovering. He's frail.
It shows.
They were hoping to get his action scenes filmed right away and out of the way so that the other actors had time to train to get ready for theirs. Well, as soon as Raul Julia got on set, they saw how frail and weak he was. He said, "We can't do his fight scenes now. He has to recuperate from his surgery." So they had to flip everything, and they had to make everybody else do their action scenes up front, which they weren't ready for, and they were often having to learn their choreography the second they walked on set to shoot the scene. So that caused problems. There was a deadline issue. Capcom had to have this movie out by Christmas. Had to happen. Cocaine and sick stars put all that behind, so they had to split. They had to get their stunt coordinator to shoot he basically directed all the action scenes, and DeSouza did all the dialogue scenes. Well, the stunt coordinator had no idea until they started shooting that every single character had their own unique fighting style per the video game. So that was a monkey wrench in the system. And then
that's kind of the whole idea of the Street Fighter formula.
Yeah. So they weren't really checking in on each other. So while the stunt coordinator shot all the action scenes and then brought them to DeSouza to review, he said, "Wait a second, where are all the iconic moves of these characters?" And he's like, "I didn't put any of that bullshit in."
Jesus Christ.
This is a movie right here.
If you want to know why there's very, very few iconic moves, that would be why.
So they had to go back and pick up,
I guess.
these moves.
Ryu's Hadouken is half-assed at best.
Oh, it's about quarter-assed, maybe an eighth.
They literally just spliced in a single white frame.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
And a little laser beam sound effect. Ken does a Shoryuken. He does a Dragon Punch. It's not much of one, but he does one.
No, his feet don't even leave the floor. He just does an uppercut with a twist on it.
That's what it is.
It sucks.
The guy didn't even catch on fire or anything.
And the hurricane kick that Ryu throws, if you blink, you'll miss it.
Yeah, he spins around one and a quarter times. The biggest one, I guess, is Guile doing his flash kick twice in a row, so you can't miss it.
But no sonic boom.
No sonic boom. No projectiles, no lasers, no fireballs, nothing.
There's no magic in this movie.
You see?
None of the characters can do magic.
Mortal Kombat had the spear coming out of Scorpion's hand. We had Sub-Zero throwing ice around. Shang Tsung doing soul things.
I mean, so this is a grounded, gritty, down to earth kind of action flick.
God. I can't even condense that into a zingy one-liner because there's so much wrong with it. So there's how many groups of people in this movie? We've got the AN with Guile and Cammy and T-Hawk and Captain Sawada.
Yeah.
So they're the quasi-UN. That's one force in this. Then there's Bison and his gang of cronies trying to create Bisonopolis and take over the world.
Mm-hmm. Bisonopolis.
Then there's Ryu and Ken, a couple of hustlers on the street just trying to get by. And then there's Sagat and Vega and his group where they're underground arms dealers. And then there's Chun-Li and Balrog and E Honda, and they're a news crew / freedom fighters thing.
They're just like revenge seekers.
And in case you're a listener and you don't know, this has nothing to do with the video game.
Yes.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, Balrog is a good guy in this, I guess.
Yeah. Not so sure about that.
If you want the real Street Fighter movie experience, it's all about the animated movie.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, where an already exploded M. Bison tries to run over Ryu in a truck.
Hell yeah.
And Ryu jump kicks him through the window in a freeze frame. It's the greatest freeze frame ever put to celluloid.
I think about Bison like scrunched behind that little steering wheel more often than it should, I think.
He's like Steven Seagal in that little car in Shadow Man.
Same thing.
So yeah, and they shoehorn they didn't take the effort to put in the moves, but they did make the effort to force the characters to look like their characters in like the last few minutes of the movie.
Right.
There's inexplicable appearance changes to some of these characters. Why Balrog would opt to put on the boxing gloves, which I would think would just hinder his effectiveness.
It's true.
and his like satin purple shorts. Where do you even get that shit?
And Cammy, throughout the whole movie, Cammy's been in military attire, like looking proper, and then like all of a sudden they get to the capital of Bisonopolis, and she decides to whore it up.
Hey, they could have gone way further with Cammy. Let's be honest,
but still. And then T-Hawk just all of a sudden like went full. What's his name from Predator?
Well, he just had that headband on. There, I'm Native American now. Could you tell?
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, you're Native American? Didn't even know before.
I never put it together. Thomas Hawk.
Theodore Hawk. So let's start walking through the movie a little bit. So we start out, the movie starts with the real footage, like the old war footage of the war with Shadaloo. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Shadaloo wasn't a place in the video games.
No,
it was a criminal organization.
It was an organization, yes. Okay, so off to a great start.
But even in this movie, I'm not clear if it's a country or a city.
Details.
Fuck it. Let's go with continent.
Yeah.
Undiscovered continent.
Island Nation. So the AN forces are on the verge of taking down Shadaloo, and Bison, who's the dictator of Shadaloo, who Raul Julia apparently studied all the great dictators of our age to get the mannerisms down. And I'm going to say, Raul Julia, bang up job.
He kills it.
He's Raul Julia.
He's a great actor, but then on top of the fact of what he was going through and still gave a shit enough about Street Fighter to put in a solid performance, good for him.
Yes. A professional through and through to the bitter end.
Yeah.
So Bison's taking a bunch of hostages, and that's the mission at hand for the AN forces. We got to get them hostages. So we pivot from movie
Bison
one.
Puts them all in a hole in the ground, except for the military ones, who he just starts breaking necks. It's like, come on, let's go. You want a shot? Boom, your neck's broke. Your neck's broke.
Well, he's got to assert himself as the dominant force here.
Yeah, he doesn't just talk the talk though. He's not one of those dictators that sits on the sidelines.
No.
Right.
He gets his hands dirty.
What's next?
So
fill my hands with necks.
So we pivot from that to Ken and Ryu, and they're doing a weapons deal with Sagat, played by Wes Studi, which makes no sense at all. And that's another one. Sagat's another one, where at the end of the movie, he's inexplicably shirtless just to show that he has the scar.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like they, at the last minute, they said, oh, we got to do this. We have to show this. Or Capcom, better yet, more than likely, Capcom got on the horn and said, make sure you do this, 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 and this. Show Sagat's scar.
Was like, they had a screening for Capcom, and that had none of that stuff in it. And they were like, y'all got 4 days to do some reshoots. Figure it out.
Dulcim has hair throughout the whole movie. That's going to be a problem.
I don't know. Dulcim doesn't have hair, though.
Inexplicably, in the last scene, when the Shadaloo Island or whatever is blowing up, Dulcim is bald with the red paint on his head. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently there was a scene.
An interesting idea to try to make the face paint on some of the characters just blood.
Blood, yeah, they did that with E Honda, yeah. But yeah, there was apparently a scene that didn't make the final cuts where Dulcim goes momentarily insane and rips all his hair out in the research that I did. So that explains why he's bald at the very end.
Well, too bad there wasn't an extra scene where he had stretchy limbs. The main point of that character.
I can imagine how they would do it too. They would show some guard or something get punched in a close-up shot, but then they would cut to a wide shot. Dulcim would be across the room. You'd be like, whoa, how though?
Oh, you're stretchy. It's weird. But
you never actually have to show a stretch.
The reason for this is because, again, they had such a tight deadline to get this movie done. DeSouza would utilize what he called the John Ford trick, where he would just randomly rip pages out of the screenplay.
Nice.
Which, caused a few continuity problems. Troubleshoot from the get-go.
Yeah.
So
I love the part. It's a little earlier on where there was it Chun-Li. Somebody's interviewing Guile about Bison, and Bison. Guile's obviously very antagonistic toward Bison. But his idea to piss him off is to just be like, "Look at this, ka-chow."
Ka-chow.
Shows him a muscle.
We give him a little bit of this. Pow! Then a 1-2.
Look at this.
That kind of thing makes perfect sense when you've just done a monster rail off the back of a toilet.
When you've done
this is you. Yeah.
When you've just done a Scarface level of cocaine.
Yeah.
That's not in the script at all. He had lines there.
That would have been dope as hell if he just had like white powder under his nose the whole time.
Oh, God. But, okay, so Dulce, let's just start giving roles to these people they just started randomly throwing around. Dulcim is the scientist that has been forced to work for Bison to create a super soldier killing machine. And one of the soldiers that he's going to do that with is Charlie, who is a completely different character in the video game. Who is going to become Blanca in this movie through, Hollywood wizardry.
In the seat, so Guile just gives his friend up. Like, he gives Charlie away as somebody that Bison can then single out for special attention.
Yeah, in the Kacha interview, he tells him, Charlie, stay alive. I'm coming for you,
buddy. Bison can't lay a hand on you.
You know why? Because I'm going to give him one of these.
He better look out for this. Hachikata.
Charlie's just sitting there, Jesus Christ, I'm dead.
What I don't get is, so when Bison kind of like breaks into the feed and is talking to Guile, but Guile is like reacting to him as if he can see him, but it's just a news camera in your face.
Well, again, when you've done that much coke,
you can see him.
Right.
Yeah. You listen to me, you son of a bitch.
So
fun stuff.
Yeah. Like, Jean-Claude, you can't do this. I can do whatever I want. I just did a line off Kylie Minogue's ass. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm king of the world.
Oh, and the cast and crew did not enjoy filming with Jean-Claude Van Damme. However, they found Kylie Minogue to be quite charming.
Well, I guess so.
Why wouldn't you?
And Raul Julia was a pleasure to be around as well. If it wasn't for that Van Damme stinking up the scene.
Oh.
So, at some point, Ken and Ryu come into the scene. They're doing the weapons deal with Sagat. They're selling him all.
Remember Ken's iconic tie and sweater vest combo? From the games.
Yeah. Yeah. It was an unlockable outfit. You had to do something in a certain order.
Have at any time in any of the mini Street Fighter games have they put these idiotic costumes into the game as unlockable content?
No.
Oh man, they should have done it in 5.
You think they would have done that? Put Ken in his sweater vest and his tie. So that 10 people can look and go, oh, that's from the movie.
He had one of them wide ties too, like he was a stand-up comedian or something.
That's what he was dressed like. Like his costume was not coded as like a smuggler or some kind of criminal.
No.
You're right. He looked like a 90s stand-up comic. He looked like Paula Poundstone.
So they're doing an arms deal with Sagat and his cronies. They're selling. They're telling them, give us the money and we'll tell you the location of the weapons. But Sagat reveals they already knew where the weapons were and they already got them and brought them here. And they pull them all out and they level them at Ken and Ryu. And so you're not afraid of your own weapons, are you? And they all pull the triggers and they start shooting them with Nerf balls because they're fake guns. The old switcheroo, oldest trick in the book.
If they're gonna trick them, why even have anything in the case or whatever?
To give them time to escape?
Maybe, but I think a seasoned arms dealer like Sagat, for some reason in this movie, I think he'd be able to look and say, "Why, these are all plastic guns."
These guns aren't made anywhere.
So, to get back at them in this, Sagat decides he's going to force Ryu and Ken into an underground cage fighting gambling den. So they take him down there, and we're introduced to Vega, who's the grand champion of cage fighting. And Ryu's up first. They put him in there. Oh, here we go. It's going down the first actual street fight of Street Fighter. Ryu and Vega, here we go. Up, wait, hold up. Here comes old Cokehead McGillicuddy crashing through the wall in a tank.
Also not in the script.
Hey, I stole this tank.
We didn't even have a tank. We didn't even have a tank ready to go in the budget. Where did he even get that?
His handler went and got it for him.
So much for that.
Yeah, that's not only is it the first street fight scene, it's the only street fight scene. The title officially makes no sense.
Not a single street fight in the entire movie. So yeah, Guile crashed through the wall.
You can't even say like a fight even took place on a road or anything. Like, so the title really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was all every fight took place in this Shadaloo archipelago or whatever the fuck it is.
See, that's why the animated one's perfect, because Bison's trying to pick up fighters, trying to find good fighters to turn into Shadaloo soldiers.
Yeah,
makes perfect sense. It's a bunch of street fights in that movie.
What was first, the animated one or this one?
I gotta say this one, but I'm not 100% sure.
I could have said, hey, you got your reference right here.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or I mean, worst case scenario, just enter the Dragonet. That's what every other martial arts. This is what Mortal Kombat did.
The same year?
It was released the same year, 94.
Interesting.
Oh no, 96. In US it was 96. 94 it was Japan.
But I mean, Capcom was aware of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, whatever you do, don't put Bison in a truck, because we did that.
Well, at least it was like mid-credits. I don't consider that canon. That didn't actually happen.
What if this was just picked up right where that left off? With Ken flying through the window of a Mack truck and kicking Raul Julia in the face.
Dope as hell.
Catch up quick, audience. This movie moves fast. So Guile crashes through the wall. He pops up. Oh, it looks like you're all under arrest.
He arrests like 300 people.
They all stop and put their hands up. It's an underground gambling ring, and nobody tried to run for the door.
He's got a tank. He took out the door.
What's he gonna shoot him with? The fucking missile and take out everybody, including himself?
The tank bullet.
There wasn't one. It had 2 missiles on it.
Well, yeah, the missiles. Look, the guy's coked out of his mind. He's crazy enough to do it.
You're right.
So yeah, everyone's arrested. We go to prison, and this is where they hatch this plan where everyone attacks Ken and Ryu while Guile has this plan to infiltrate into Bison's gang, and they stage this big prison break, and during the prison break, Ryu and Ken get the keys. They fake a fight, and they get the keys from the guard. They get in the truck. They release Vega and Sagat. They're busting through, and Ken pops out and shoots Guile and kills him. Now, how they got all this lined up to happen, I don't know.
It's elaborate.
They would
need a few days, I think, to set this up.
They had to put a squib on Lieutenant Guile, Colonel Guile, whatever his title is in the movie that isn't in the game. And to make sure Ken got the one gun that either had blanks in it or he has had to shoot real bullets around Guile into the crowd of people. Make sure that he's the only one that tried to shoot Guile, considering that there's 300 people breaking around the prison that he just arrested that probably don't like him very much.
Also, this whole plan kind of hinges. This whole plan kind of hinges on the fact that Magua would ask for the keys. If he doesn't ask for the keys for help, then it really doesn't have the same effect, right?
Yeah, the whole point was to get Ken and Ryu in close with them.
Right.
You helped us break out of prison, and you killed Colonel Guile.
Yeah, but what if Magua didn't even ask for the keys because he was like, they probably won't give it to us anyway. And then what?
That's when you got to think on your feet. I don't know. It's a bad plan.
Very much so.
It's dodgy.
But as the truck's driving away, Chun-Li flicks a tracker on it so they can find out where they are. Bison learns that Guile's dead, and he gives his monologue about how he's going to turn the world into Bisonopolis, and he's going to convert everyone to the Pax Bisonica.
This stuff is so good.
It's Raul Julia.
Honestly, I mean, I feel the movie was written more like a comedy than an action movie. Particularly Bison as a character is written like a comedic character. It's like you can't take him seriously.
He has a John Wayne Gacy painting of himself in his office.
I love the production designer was like, what's the most evil shit we could have?
Say Napoleon, John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy. You could have a bunch of wind-up robots and shadow boxes. Wind-up robots are evil, right? But yeah, I love it. I love what he does. He's just like this ridiculous villain who's just not in on the joke of how over the top he is. Yeah. He puts a skull and wings symbol on everything. He's concerned about the food court in Bisonopolis. It's great stuff.
Yeah. So this is where Chun-Li discovers she goes into the morgue where the body of Colonel Guile is. He's all bagged up, and surprise, he's alive.
Which the first of many also doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, why would he be in the morgue?
Yeah. Like, I can understand, like, maybe putting him in a bag to get him off the street away from all the witnesses, but once he's clear of all that, he wouldn't just hang out in the morgue.
He's got to lay inside a zipped-up body bag for hours.
He's a method actor. Plus, he crashed from all that coke. He basically was dead.
They thought he was dead.
That wasn't part of the script. They actually thought Van Damme died while making the movie.
Yeah, she wasn't trying to film a scene. Like, Joy Luck Club would just go in there to, like, pay her condolences or something.
It's like, Mr. Chow, you ever do cocaine before? Sometimes your heart stop and start back up again? So later, Bison is hosting his Warlord Festival. Where again he's doing a weapons deal with Sagat, and Chun-Li, E Honda, and Balrog sneak in as circus performers, as you would. After following the tracking device.
The best way to stay undercover is to get yourselves right in front of the guy you're hiding in front of.
But unfortunately, Ken and Ryu rat him out. So Guile now knows where Bison is, because he does, and plans his attack.
I didn't understand how they figured out where they were. Because that was the whole thing, was like they had to track down where his base was.
Yeah. Did they just use Chun-Li's tracker? I don't think it's fair for us to have to assume these things, movie, but
I guess so.
So
because there's like some satellite footage or something. So what is it? Chun-Li crashes his truck into Bison's weapons depot or something, causing a large explosion.
Zangief has the line of the movie.
It legitimately made me laugh.
As they're watching on the closed circuit feed of the truck barreling down on them. Quick, change the channel!
That's like a Fry line from Futurama.
That's the best way to describe it.
He's gotta be so dumb. Like, next level dumb.
So, they. What is that? I'm mixed up. Is that before or after he's in his quarters with Chun-Li?
Oh, before.
That's before.
Yeah, that's not that doesn't happen for a minute.
Yeah. So, because his monologue earlier is good, but the memorable one for me is when he's in his quarters with Chun-Li. Yeah.
So after that, they take in Bison they take in Chun-Li, Honda, and Balrog. Ken and Ryu are now in their good graces for pointing him out. Ken delivers a great line while they're taking away Chun-Li. He's like, "This sucks. Those guys are good guys, like us." Incredible.
This movie,
and then they
there's a lot of twists and turns in this movie. We got to make sure everyone's on board.
I almost forgot. Like, I thought they might actually be bad guys now. So they try to torture Honda, but he takes it like a boss.
Yeah, because he's Samoan.
Yeah, and then he makes like a hand job joke in this kids movie. That was weird. Balrog is like, "Give me a hand." And Honda's like, "It's only been like a couple hours. Man, ask me again in a few days."
Throwing a joke in there for the adults in the audience. It's like Shrek.
Yeah.
And then we get to the Bison's quarters.
While that's happening, they're in Bison's quarters. He gets Chun-Li brought to him. She's wearing her sort of iconic dress.
Yeah,
I don't get why they went like 80% accurate with the costume.
It's like they couldn't find a blue one.
My guess was that Bison loves red, and since he forced her to wear this thing, clearly it's got to be red.
Yeah, she's got her hair up in the buns. She got the dress on. Bison changes it into his casual dictator gear.
His red velvet shit.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
It was great. I read that each hat on that hat rack is related to an alternate color costume in the games.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
The level of detail that the production designers put in is pretty wild.
Into that hat rack?
Yeah, they went for it, man. They did the hat rack.
So this is where Chun-Li lays out about how her father died because Bison raided his village, and they got chased out by a bunch of farmers with pitchforks. But he was shot dead while Bison's forces were retreating. And Bison comes back with that. I don't remember any of that. And so she's all flabbergasted. He says, "For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday." It was fantastic.
Bam.
It was the equivalent of Thanos' line to Scarlet to the witch. I don't even know who you are.
So this pisses off Chun-Li. And she starts bolstering about how she's trained to once she met him, she can kill him. And he's like, no, I know women, and I'm looking at you, and you're completely harmless. And that's exactly what I wanted you to think. She snaps her handcuffs, and she proceeds to start whipping his ass.
Just going ham on this man.
Yeah. Ken and Ryu wind up freeing Honda and Balrog. That's when they go to help Chun-Li, but while they're distracted with them coming in, he jumps into his little safe room and hits a button, and everybody gets gassed as he laughs and it superimposes a skull on his face.
So he's got this gigantic. This part was awesome. He's got this gigantic skull fireplace in his room, and the fire like flares up in the fireplace, and they do a match cut between the fireplace and his face. He's doing this insane laugh. And it's totally awesome.
They just told Raul Julia, just do this, go trust us, we're gonna do something cool with it in post.
When they started getting gassed, it was like original Star Trek level acting. Like like just falling over, like they can't breathe. It was Kirk and Spock like all over again.
So while all this is happening, Dalsim is programming Blanca Clockwork Orange style.
And see, this is where this is another part where I was like, this movie is supposed to be for children, but like they show the scenes that they're showing Blanca, and like somebody straight up gets executed in one of the frames.
Yeah, it's that famous clip.
Yeah.
Of the it's a Viet Cong soldier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Getting executed point blank.
Yeah, they show it.
Everybody's seen that clip. That's
I don't know. To me, that's a little worse than a hand job joke.
No, I agree. I was pretty shocked that it was in there.
Yeah, they're showing him, that people kicking puppies, the Exxon oil spill,
some real oily duckies,
just bad stuff. So Dalsim, he's not into this at all because he's being forced to do this. So he decides he's going to switch it up, and he just flips a switch, and it just goes into like puppies and children skipping through the meadow and all these nice things that was just queued up and ready to rock.
Yeah, there's nice stuff compilations set aside. It also has like Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech, which like I don't really know if it fits into this compilation. Like stuff is pretty bad when he gave that speech.
Yeah. So it shows Blanca's like evil meter, and he's like half evil, and then the other half fills up with good.
Well,
Urge to kill rising.
I was sitting there looking at like the coding involved for them to do this. So like you said, first off, they'd have to have that footage ready to go for some reason. But then when somebody made that program for that computer, they decided that when that film would be shown that they'd change the color of the progress meter.
Yeah.
Like, so somebody coded all of that shit. That wouldn't happen.
But yeah, like I said,
something unexpected.
They had the nice footage ready to go. So.
But like nobody would say, well, I better code a different color in case somebody takes the program that's supposed to be out.
Dalsim did.
Another one that's a good one. I don't know.
Maybe the good one was originally there. This was meant to make nice people, like rehabilitate serial killers and stuff. And then Bison got his dirty grubs on it. Said, no, make the bar red because we're making them mean.
Or maybe they've learned from other test subjects that you can't go 100% bad. You got to give them 10% good. So it's there waiting for that last 10%, maybe.
All logical things. So while that's going on, we go back to the AN, and Colonel Giles got his troops mustered. They're ready to rock. And in comes what's his name, who plays every little ferrety little asshole British man in any movie ever made.
Yeah, I was sitting there struggling. I was like, okay, name a movie he's in. Name a movie, like, because I've seen him in a bunch of shit.
Ace Ventura 2.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah. So he comes in and issues Guile orders that he's immediately to stand down and send all his troops home. So Guile takes the orders and he goes up and he makes his big speech about how, they've canceled the war with Shadaloo. So we can all go home, and everybody that died here will have died for nothing, but, we can all go home. He says, well, I'm not going to go home. I'm going to get in my boat, and I'm going to go upriver, and I'm going to kick Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is going to feel it. So who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me? And everybody flips the hell out.
The most arousing speech ever given.
So they tell old British boy to stuff it, and they get in their boats because the Thai government wouldn't let them have planes for this production.
Oh my god.
Originally it's supposed to be an airstrike. No. You ain't flying planes to the city. Sorry, suckers. Boats. Get some boats. So they get in their stealth boats and go in guns blazing.
Yeah. This is the thing I don't understand. Is that they go into stealth mode, but then immediately just start blowing stuff up. Kind of defeats the purpose of stealth mode. They start
blowing up the radar towers, which that's going to give away your positions, because it's going to be like, oh shit, a radar tower just went down. Oh wait, another one just went down. So the idea of being stealth is you just go past all that stuff without causing a scene.
Right, you don't need to blow it up.
Right.
No. It's to blow it all up, and they go, what's blowing all our stuff up?
Blow that thing up.
And then you got everybody else on there, Sea-Doos and P-Rose, just waiting for them to get past there for some reason. Like, they're going to get picked up on the radar. Weird. I guess when they switched to boats, they could only afford the one cool boat.
Yeah, they had one stealth boat.
So, as they're doing their aquatic assaults, Guile's boat gets blown up, and once again, everybody thinks he's dead. Back in Bison's base, a guard catches Dawson slipping Blanca the good stuff, and they get in a scuffle, and it short circuits everything and releases Blanca, and we get our first look at true green Blanca from the video game, and it's unimpressive. He's just got a big face.
It's a big letdown. There's all these like computer readouts about like muscle mass increased by 9,000%. And then he comes out and he's just like some guy.
Just some dude.
Green with a big forehead and orange hair.
And a Sideshow Bob wig on.
Yeah. It's Carrot Top. So we get another big reveal. Guile's actually alive, and Cammy and T-Hawk show up and infiltrate the base. This is where Guile finds Blanca, his old pal Charlie, and just like, well, that's it for you, sucker.
He's just like,
Well, to be fair, Blanca does say "help me," which obviously means shoot me in the head.
He says, help me. He's like, okay, buddy, I'll help you. He pulls out his pistol and puts it to his head, and Blanca gives him a look like, dude, that's not what I meant.
Well, I said helps. But like... Jesus.
I'm just really thirsty, asshole.
So that's when Dalsum intervenes and he stops him from killing him. Bison decides that this is when I'm going to unleash Blanca to kill all the hostages, but that doesn't work because Blanca's half good now. No hostage murdering for you. All hell breaks loose. Everybody's fighting everywhere. Zangief and E Honda do a Godzilla bit.
Yeah,
why not?
Finally get some action in this action movie. I swear this is like the only action scene.
Yeah, we get Ryu and Ken versus Sagat and Vega, and this is where we get the half-assed Shoryuken and the half-assed Hadouken and the half-assed Hurricane Kick. After they find some geese laying around, it's like when Mario and Luigi find their overalls in the Mario Brothers movie.
But not as cool.
No, not nearly as cool.
Well, Shadaloo gave them those geese when they came on board. It's like all the Bison Troopers wear this like armor thing, but for some reason there's also another contingent of guys that only wears geese. I don't know.
Those are the lesser guys. It's like when you're playing Streets of Rage, that's the first wave of guys are wearing geese. Then the Cyrax and Sector looking guys come out.
Yeah.
So we get that fight. E Honda fights Zangief for a little while. We get the 100-hand slap. Mm-hmm. We get that little one,
which I had forgotten about. Like that took me by surprise. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know he did a 100-hand slap in the movie.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
I don't think Zangief does anything.
Well, no, because that would require him picking E Honda up, turning him upside down, jumping 20 feet into the air and doing somersaults, and bringing him back down head first to the ground.
We could have just done like a suplex or something.
Yeah, you could have done the bear hug.
Yeah,
that's a simple enough
spinny,
one.
Like punch deal that he does.
Oh yeah, the whirly gig. That's what it's called, right?
No, the whirly gig is what you strap into when you want to have cyber sex in the future. That's not Zangief's move.
Soviet Russia whirly gigs you. So, this is and Vega comes out when he's fighting Ryu. He puts his mask on and he's like, "Okay, where were we?" And yeah, because we got robbed that fight earlier.
We never got started. It should be pretty easy to remember, dumbass.
So this is where it finally comes to a head in the main control room of Bison's base, with Bison and Guile at the head of 100 plus of their soldiers on each side of them. But Bison and Guile said, no, we're doing this mano a mano. Everybody get the hell out. And the two armies just kind of back out of the room. So they each deliver their victory line from the video game.
Cool. I've never noticed that.
Yep. And then they get to it, and there's a double in there, but Julia did a surprising amount of his stuff.
Yeah, but
in the wide shots, it's a double, but all the close stuff's him.
It's him. Yep. Yeah.
I thought it was. They're only now just. You're able to see how big Bison is. Like, he's like really tall.
Yeah.
I don't know if Raul Julia's that tall, but
I don't think he is.
I mean, he stood like at least a head taller than JCVD.
And he was taller than all the hostages in the beginning. Like,
I guess they just never got a clear look at how tall he was.
Yeah, they didn't make a big point of it until then.
Oh, yeah. Raul Julia is 6'2".
Yeah, all right.
Pretty good.
Pretty tall.
Hang on. Jean-Claude Van Damme, 5'10".
Average.
So yeah, that was true height there. So they go at it for a little while, and Guile has the upper hand for a good bit, and he winds up kicking Bison into a computer desk and it electrocutes everything. But then Bison reveals his secret weapon that he's got techno powers. He's a technomancer or something. And he turns on his shoes. He turns on his shoes and now he can fly. So
electromagnets.
Yeah. Again, there's strictly no magic in this movie.
Yeah. And if you had all that, why not use it in the beginning?
Yeah. So he starts flying around. He starts doing the torpedo thing that he does. And so
make sure you put some air quotes around that torpedo thing.
Yeah, he's not on fire. He's not whirling around. He's just kind of listfully gliding at him.
He's very slow.
Yeah, somebody pulled back the swing and let him go. That's exactly what it looked like every time.
He does that a few.
How much cooler would have been it would have been if he just had psycho power.
Yeah.
I just want to hear Raul Julia say like psycho power.
But this only lasts for so long. I can't remember if he flash kicks him before or after he starts flying around. It was before.
Yeah, that was when he was whooping his ass.
Yeah, he flash kicks him a couple times. But he winds up beating him just by kicking him out of the air. It's so big, like he doesn't figure out a weakness to his electromagnetic powers or anything. He just waits for him to come flying up. He just tees him up and just kicks him. He goes flying through the air, crashes into a wall of TVs, and explodes. We'll see him driving a truck later.
I really would have preferred Bison just whooping his ass most of the time. I don't need him. I don't need Guile winning. I guess I read that it sort of mirrors how a match in Street Fighter goes against Bison, where you can like beat him pretty easily round 1, but round 2 he goes crazy, starts doing all his extra moves,
and then you just start spamming jump kicks and you win.
Yeah.
This was truer to the game than we thought.
It's pretty accurate. Yeah, when you break it down like that.
So, Bison's dead. All the characters run out. Zangief has a change of heart because he realized because DJ's in this movie.
For some inexplicable reason.
And for the life of me, I thought DJ was played by Arsenio Hall.
It's Joanna Man.
And it's Joanna. Yeah, it's not. Like my memory was telling me it was Arsenio Hall, but it wasn't. So, he comes running out and he's got a big chest of Bison's booty, and he informs Zangief that Bison's a dictator. He's a bad guy. We need to get the hell out of here. And so Zangief realized, oh yeah, he is a bad guy. So Zangief kind of just joins up with the good guys and runs out of the exploding base. Sagat,
he when he decides to join up with him, then he gets into his game attire, where all of a sudden he's just in his underwear.
Yeah. Well, that happened when he was fighting E Honda. Like all his clothes got ripped off.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, while they were busting through the walls doing the Godzilla bit.
That's right.
And that's when E Honda's clothes all got ripped off, and it was just like hanging down like it was the sumo pants. Yeah. So DJ and Sagat escape through a Hogan's Heroes hatch somewhere and pop out on some undisclosed location. And Sagat, again, shirtless for no reason. You see the big scar on his chest where, according to canon, he met Ryu before and had a fight, but didn't remember him giving him this giant scar across his chest.
Right.
So they bust open the crate and find out that it's full of bison bucks. It's worthless. So DJ's pissed, but Sagat can do nothing but laugh. We go to the other characters. They're all outside. For the third time, they think Guile is dead until he comes stumbling out of the smoke.
Up there on the Guile death counter.
He comes stumbling out of the smoke, and he kind of gives a little like winking a nudge to Cammy, saying like, "Hey, we're gonna do it later. Don't you worry." And then it goes to like the real love interest of the movie, which is Chun-Li, who we could give a shit about.
Yeah.
And so then there's one last giant explosion as the bison base blows up, and then for no reason at all, they all do their victory poses.
It's great.
Freeze frame.
No, it's not.
I liked it. I know it's dumb as hell, but I liked it.
It explodes as Jean-Claude Van Damme decides to take that time to comb his hair.
Cammy's like, look at the booty.
Yeah, exactly. So much worse than I remember. I found myself fast forwarding a lot because I was like, oh yeah, I remember this part. And I just fast forward.
Say, what other little tidbits do I have here? It ends with the movie being dedicated to Raul Julia because this was his last big screen performance. Sadly. But he gave it his all.
I mean, I think he's a solid reason to watch the movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
he's just a fun character to watch.
Yeah, that is the one silver lining.
Yeah. Now some links to The Legend of Chun-Li. So apparently, when they were making, first of all, they had planned a sequel to this right out of the gate. Capcom loved this movie.
Shut up.
Yes, they were very happy with it. Ready for a sequel. Let's do the sequel. So they attached JCVD, Kylie Minogue, Damian Ciampa, who played Ken, and Byron Mann, who played Ryu, all to reprise their roles. And they were also going to pull in Dolph Lundgren to be somebody. That went into development hell for eternity and never went anywhere. And then until the studio decided, you know what, let's just reboot the fucking thing. They started production on Legend of Chun-Li. Now, they had offered Van Damme to come back in Legend of Chun-Li as Guile, but he didn't want to.
No, he wanted to be
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
He was busy?
So, whenever Legend of Chun-Li came out, I'm not even sure when that was, we need to look and see what JCVD was up to at that point.
Yeah.
That he didn't want to reprise his role as Colonel Guile. The movie was originally rated R by the MPAA, so they said, well, we can't have that because it needs to be PG-13. So they made edits, and it got a G rating.
Jesus Christ.
So to fix that, they made Jean-Claude say a curse word at some point in the movie. Instant PG-13.
To fix that, they made a hand job joke and showed an execution on film.
Right in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
PG-13.
Of the movie's $35 million budget, JCVD got 8 of that.
Jesus.
Another large portion went to Raul Julia, so they had to fill the rest of the cast with minor actors.
I mean, Raul Julia would have been to me, he's the bigger name though, right?
I mean, he's got a much deeper pedigree than Van Damme, but Van Damme was hot then.
Wow, the world ain't fair sometimes.
All right, so Legend of Chun-Li came out in 2009.
Okay.
JCVD, the last actually good Jean-Claude Van Damme movie that came out in 2008. And he was in Universal Soldier Regeneration in 2009. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like he could have done it.
Maybe he thought, this is it. We're bringing Universal Soldier back.
We're doing it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, Universal Soldier is way better than Street Fighter. So, you kind of can't blame him.
I guess so.
Yeah. So,
gun to your head, you got to watch Universal Soldier or Street Fighter. You're going to pick Universal Soldier.
Well, this is Regeneration. This is
I know, but if you have to decide what franchise you're going back to, I think the smarter choice is Universal Soldier.
I think I watched this movie, actually. It's got Scott Adkins in it. Anyway.
Well, that'll be for another day.
Yeah.
So we've said our gripes with this, criticizing the strange choices of actors. So now we're going to start a little segment called A New Challenger Approaches.
That just made me happy.
So now we're going to recast this movie. And then we're going to ridicule each other for how terrible our picks are. So we had rules to this. John recast the movie using talent from that time period, mid-90s. Blake recasted the movie, and he had to only use actors from other movies we've watched on Garbage Theater. And I recast the movie where time and budget were not a factor. I could pick anybody I wanted to. From any time period, any actor, alive or dead, doesn't matter.
Right. I wonder if any of us are going to pick the same person.
I'm interested to see that because there are some overlaps, even with Blake's limited palette of actors to pick from. So how do we want to do this? Do we just want to run down each other's list, or do we want to go character by character?
I think we should do it by list, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Each person's list.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So I actually think that they did a pretty great job casting the film. I mean, in terms of how the characters look, like with the exception of Ken, I guess, the characters weren't at all like the characters in the game, but the cast looked pretty good. But that said, if I was gonna make a sort of tougher, grittier Street Fighter movie, this is my cast. It would have been the greatest cast ever assembled. So off the top, Bison, I chose Javier Bardem.
Nice.
Dude, he's got the chops. He's got the just think about Anton Chigurh, but Bison. Great in the chin. He's got the chin.
He's kind of like Raul Julia 2.0 too.
Yeah, they're both Spanish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that.
Javier Bardem or Bison's like Puerto Rican or something.
I think that's a good choice.
Anyway, for Guile, I chose Kurt Russell.
Wow.
He was he was actually already kind of playing Guile over on the Stargate set.
Yeah, that's true. He had the flat top.
Yeah.
For Chun-Li, I liked Michelle Yeoh for the martial arts aspect. But Joan Chen from she was in Twin Peaks and On Deadly Ground. I thought she would have been an awesome looking Chun-Li. For Ryu, I got Mark Dacascos.
Oh.
But I also think a young Sonny Chiba would have been great.
Nice.
Ken, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I went with a similar route with mine, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like Point Break character, boom, it's Ken. Honda was tough, so I found this sumo wrestler named Chiyonofuji Mitsugu at the time, who was he had a similar body to E Honda. He was muscular but also sumo.
Okay.
But he's not an actor, so I don't know. Maybe Yokozuna. Just get Yokozuna in
Let's
there.
go right up the middle with it.
Right.
Balrog, just get Tyson in there.
Yeah.
That's who he's
based on.
That's who he's supposed to be, yeah.
Sagat was probably the toughest one. There's no such thing as a Thai person that looks like this.
Yeah.
So this is a weird choice, but Jeff Goldblum. He's 6'4", Jeff Goldblum. So he's got the height. He's got the sort of chiseled jaw. I feel like he could really he could nail the look for Sagat. For Vega, I picked Antonio Banderas.
That's a good one.
Cammy, I got Christina Applegate. And for Zangief, Bill Goldberg.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the only thing I could come up with.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's I don't think I did T-Hawk or
You don't have to do all of them.
jerk.
Some other jerk.
DJ. I didn't do DJ
Yeah.
or Dalsim. It's too many damn characters. That's my list.
I'll go next.
Okay.
So mine was anything goes. I want to go in the order that John did. So go list your characters off to me, and I'll plug them in.
All right, Bison.
So for M. Bison, I went off. This was a tough one because I couldn't nail somebody down. I thought of another guy that had the chin, and it was Clive Owen.
Okay.
Okay,
Different. I think you could do it.
I think you can pull it off.
Next,
Guile.
Guile.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Nice. Awesome.
He was my immediate thought. Kurt Russell. Goddamn Big Trouble in Little China era Kurt Russell. But give him the flat top from Stargate.
Yeah.
That's Guile. All the way. Who was next? Ken?
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li, if I'm being honest, Ming-Na Wen was perfect.
She was. She really was.
I could not think of somebody. Like, I looked at Michelle Yeoh as well, but Ming-Na Wen, she looked the part. I couldn't. Anything else would be a step down for me with that. She embodied it well.
Ryu is next.
Ryu, I also said Sonny Chiba.
Hell yeah.
Damn. Look at y'all.
Because goddamn Sonny Chiba, rock sores my sock sores.
Yeah.
Ken, I had Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Okay.
dude. So on my list, I had several choices for Ken. It was Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, or Brad Pitt. So definitely on the same wavelength there.
You can't have Ken on a step stool the entire movie.
I didn't pick Tom Cruise ultimately, but like there's some shots of him in the 90s, like from Interview with the Vampire, where he like really looks the part. But Honda.
Honda, who I got? Honda's a joke one. I picked Steven Seagal. Fuck you, Steven Seagal.
You telling me this motherfucker wants the sumo?
He'd be right at home. That's just because I couldn't think of anything like real.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one. A Balrog.
I also said Mike Tyson. Let's cut the bullshit here. It needs to be Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Sagat?
Sagat, Lou Diamond Phillips.
Sure.
Because if we're going to cast Sagat stupid, let's make it stupid.
Vega?
Vega, Fabio. He doesn't need to talk at all. We just need the face and the muscles.
You got a Cammy?
Cammy had Mia Jovovich.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
She was my first pick.
Last is Zangief.
Zangief, I don't know if he could do the accent because I've only ever heard him British, but I thought it would be cool to have Vinnie Jones
Okay.
Yeah?
as a Zangief.
All right.
I got some that you didn't have. I got Wesley Snipes for DJ.
Yeah, okay.
I've got well, not to give away Blake's thing, but I know for a fact he didn't use Robert Zadar for anybody. So Robert Zadar is my T-Hawk. Because if you look at the in-game art of T-Hawk, he looks just like the motherfucker.
Yeah, T-Hawk looks monstrous.
There's some surprising similarities between our lists, by the way.
Okay. Let me see if I got any last one. The only one I don't have is a Dulcine. Blanca, I said, you know what? Just get Andy Serkis and we'll mocap the whole fucking thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Get that monkey man in there.
I give you that one, yeah.
So that's mine.
All right, well, I was writing down the numbers so I can go in the same order with mine. So for Bison, I was looking for, you got to figure my limited color palette here.
Mm-hmm.
Who could pull off this big villain role? So Bison to me is Neil Breen.
I love it.
Yeah. So Guile, like I decided I could really fix Guile by not having the muscles from Brussels. So I chose Rob Van Dam to be Guile.
From Three-Headed Shark Attack.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it fits. Chun-Li is somebody who didn't appear in any of the movies, but we all know who she is, so I made an executive decision. Chun-Li, I want Batsuck to be Chun-Li. That's Steven Seagal's wife. Let's see. Ryu. It was a toss-up. The obvious choice would have been Don Ricky Steamboat the Dragon Wilson or whatever his name is. But I didn't want to choose him, so I went with Wang Wang.
I knew Wang Wang was going to be somebody.
To be Ryu. For Ken, I really wanted to piss off Jace, but I think it could work. I chose Gary Busey.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
E. Honda Seagal, of course.
Yes.
I also figured it'd be fun to have him right next to his wife doing a movie where he couldn't paw anybody. Kind of nice. Balrog is Tyson. How could you not pick Tyson for Balrog? Sagat, I chose Helen Benton. She was the mom on Bloodbeat.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. A fucking deep cut joke there, folks.
Oh man, that's been a long time coming.
If you're new to listening, go back and listen to the Bloodbeat episode, and that joke's gonna pay off. Let me tell
you. As soon as you said use old, that was the first one that popped in my head. Like, that's the only one that mattered in my mind.
Oh my God.
Vega, I chose Eric Roberts. Wanted somebody classically good looking, you know. For Cammy's another deep dive. Rachel Lozelle or something like that. She was the unsexy chick from Mosquito. It's another deep cut. Zangief, Danny Bonaducci. There could be no other choice. DJ, I chose Wesley Snipes too. T-Hawk, I went with someone who was in this movie, so I figured it counted. I went with Wes Studi for T-Hawk. Why not? Let's fix that too. Where was the next one? Oh, Blanca.
You had a Native American right there. I mean, he was right there.
Exactly. Blanca, I thought Blanca was a very easy choice. I went with Sarah Jessica Parker. Where am I? Oh, Dulcine. I figured with this guy, he's been in a few movies and he's all about cultural appropriation, so I figured David Carradine would be a good Dulcine. And before
he can
we started
play any race of people.
Yeah, exactly. So before we started recording, I actually was telling them I had somebody for Sawada, and it was perfect, and I couldn't remember who it was, and by God, lightning struck, and I remembered it. So Sawada would be played by the one ninja in Velocipaster that had a backstory. There you go. That's my list.
Good stuff.
Oh, man.
Good lists, guys. Mommy blood bead.
The mom. Jesus Christ.
I mean, that was the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, oh, that's going to make it all worth it right there.
Seriously, guys, go listen to Blood Beat. It's worth it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Christ.
And I knew when I read it, I'd say Helen Benton, and y'all be like, what the fuck? Who's
I know we got rid of the contest, but I think Blake wins.
Well, I had no choice but to be funny with mine. I didn't have much, I didn't have a lot to choose from here.
Yeah.
Okay. So that wraps up Street Fighter. So let's put a pin in it by everybody voting once and for all. Street Fighter. Is it garbage or not?
Oh, it's fucking garbage all the way. There's no nostalgia can drag it from the hole that it's in.
I'm coming
Tell me
down
when I'm
on,
wrong, John.
No, I mean it's like it's bad, but it's like it's fun though. Like I would watch it again. I genuinely enjoyed it. It is bad.
No, I won't watch it again.
Does it have Jean-Claude Van Damme in it? Yes. Therefore, I cannot in any right mind vote it garbage.
What about Derailed?
Putting them toes to the fire now.
Yeah.
Dude, that's old shit. Why are you bringing up old shit? This is new and improved garbage theater. This is the real garbage theater. So there we go. 2-1. Street Fighter officially not garbage.
Okay.
So on that note, we've got a couple little announcements. We are going to be rolling out a Patreon soon, and attached to that Patreon, we're going to have a lot of little benefits. We're planning on opening up a Discord that you'll be able to join in on our conversations as we try to decide what movies we're going to watch next. You can have an in-line into that conversation and have your voices be heard. That's how we're going to do our movie picks from here on out. We're also going to be releasing bonus episodes that you're only going to be able to get through the Patreon. They're going to be titled Trash Talk, presented by Garbage Theater, and topics are going to go kind of all over the place. It's going to be whatever we feel like talking about. So you can look forward to that. That will be launching. We want to get a few bonus episodes under our belt before we pull the trigger on it, so be looking for that, I would say, within the month. I think is a good estimate.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to hearing more directly from our fans. Hopefully you'll want to get in on this. Since the social media, I know that's kind of hit and miss. Because, who the hell likes social media anymore?
Right.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, Jason eschews social media.
So, Discord is as close as I'm going to get. So, we'll start using that. On that note, I guess that's a wrap on our first episode of our new format. Huzzah!
Yeah.
We will be announcing the next movie we're going to watch on social media, so stay tuned for that. And we will see you next time. Thank you for listening to Garbage Theater. As always, you can find us online at facebook.com/Garbage Theater, on Twitter at Garbage_Theater, and on Instagram at Garbage_Theater. If you'd care to leave us a review on iTunes, we would very much appreciate it. And if you have a movie suggestion or just want to reach out to us, you can contact us on any of our social channels or email us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all the latest episodes and happenings. Good night, and see you next time, folks.